Hello, pleasant good evening to you. Welcome to the Big Sky with your host Isaac Yami. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. If you're watching us from different time zones, every Tuesday is the time where we get to explore the world of aviation and its unlimited possibilities. I'm your host Isaac Yami, and greetings, everyone. I hope you have a good day. I hope you're having a good morning. I hope you're having a good whatsoever. And today is going to be interesting. Sadly, today I'm going to be alone as the host. However, today I am going to be with the director of Flight Wings Aviation. So we're going to be talking about a lot of things, and thank you so much for everybody who's tuned in right now. Like always, please do like our page, subscribe, share this page. Please do feel free to engage with us in our comment section. Basically, if you have questions and answers. Oh yes, yeah, obviously. And somewhere in between the show, I'm going to give you a question for this week. We believe in giving away as well, so anybody who answers the questions basically gets a free something from us. It's Fly Wings Aviation. So without wasting much time, I am going to add our guest for today. So it's like a little bit of a drum roll from myself as I welcome the director of Flight Wings Aviation. Greetings, brother. Good evening,
Greetings,
director.
Isaac. How are you?
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm
I'm
great.
liking the aviation outfit. Like
Of course, we had
can I just walk in?
to.
Can I just walk in a store and then just get it? Like, is that possible? Or it's something that I need to be qualified for? But I'm just like, you never know.
Well, maybe for a costume party or something, but well, to get this, you gotta end them, man. So yeah,
You gotta earn the 3 bars. I can see
exactly. You gotta end
the
them.
3 bars. Awesome, man. Can you greet our viewers basically at this point? Everybody who's just
All
tuned in,
right.
and give us like a slight bio of yourself, so that people can be
Okay.
acquainted, and we move on.
All right. Good evening. Good morning. Good afternoon, everybody from wherever you are. I know we are global, so good, whatever, like I always says. My name is Ngoni Machaka. I am the director of Flight Wings Aviation, and welcome and thank you for joining us tonight. And hope you benefit something from what we're going to talk about tonight. Um, a small bio about myself. I am an aviator. I studied aviation in the TRNC, that's Turkish Republic of North Cyprus, at the University of Kyrenia, and that's where I did my 4 years of aviation academics. And yeah, I guess not to spoil the fun for today, so I will end there.
Yeah, awesome. So today, like always, today we have a question, like always, and today's question will be okay. First of all, let me shout out to our viewers, Theo Max. I bet that's a nickname name. That's a shout out. I It's like Zhizh or whatsoever. Thank you so much for
Exactly.
tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in, Theo. So for today's question is: the first flight lasted 12 seconds and flew a distance of 120 feet. Who was the first pilot? First come, first save. And I have a comment section so I can basically see who started first. So, yes, this is today's question. You can answer it any single time as you're tuning in. And obviously, our prize is a promo code to our course, to our junior aviation course. And the lessons start in 13 July. So, yes, I think it'll be very good, beneficial for you to basically to be awarded and rewarded with this gift that we're offering. So the question, the first flight lasted 12 seconds and flew a distance of 120 feet. And who was the first pilot? Okay, so the director,
Yes.
why why did we opt to study aviation? Like why?
Ooh,
You mentioned that you studied in TRNC. Those who don't know what
yeah.
TRNC is, the Turkish Republic of North Cyprus. I'm lucky to be currently based there right at this very particular time. So share with us, why did you opt to study aviation? What's the story behind it?
So the story behind me studying aviation, it starts way back. I have to take you down to Form 2. So what happened? Soon after primary school, I went to a school called Nyazura Adventist High School, somewhere close to Rusape, if you know Zimbabwe. And I did my Form 1 day. So I was doing all the subjects like any normal Form 1, the 11 subjects you do all across the board, accounting, science, everything. Then in my second year of high school, that's the Form 2 year in Zimbabwe, or grade 9 in other countries, I then transferred to a school called Hillbrow Science College. So now Hillbrow Science College is a pure science school. So me loving my sciences, I went to a science school. So once I was in the science school, I fell in love with physics. And physics just speaks aviation because you're talking mechanics, you're talking all these, interesting things. So I had a teacher that used to mentor me a lot when it came to physics, because it was my favorite subject. And I had always had an interest of aviation. If I can just jump back again, I remember I don't know how old I was. I don't know if I was in primary or I started primary school. My dad and my mom took me and my sister to the now RGU Robert Gabriel Mugabe Airport, right? And there's that section where there's that restaurant. And so we're sitting there and, just watching the runway. There were no aircrafts, but we knew there was an aircraft that was coming. And I can vividly remember it was a South African Airways. I think it was an A340 or something. I don't remember exactly. But the moment I saw that aircraft taxi, turn and go towards the domestic terminal, turn around, and then it hit the runway and took off. Something in me was instilled that day that later on came out when I was Form 3. So now Hubra used to send students, to the agricultural show to showcase these projects, science projects and everything. So this year I wanted to participate. And the thing I thought about was like, I want to make an aircraft. I didn't know how an aircraft operates. I didn't know what makes an aircraft move. I didn't know anything about aircrafts, but I wanted to make an aircraft. So I drew this funny circuit board of an aircraft and I started working on it. It took me years. I couldn't even complete it when I was Form 3, and it was a whole lot of junk in my bedroom, but I knew I wanted to make an aircraft. Well, I succeeded in making the aircraft move 15 centimeters, I think, because I had the wrong idea. I didn't even know how thrust is generated. I didn't know what makes an aircraft taxi, but with my propellers and my junk, I managed to make some type of aircraft move. So my love of aviation came from a long time ago. And when I got to varsity, it was an easy decision for me to make because it was something that I loved. It was something that I had loved for over 10 years probably. And starting it, I remember even my first semester, I knew so much stuff about aviation because it was just in me. So that's how I became an aviator or interested into aviation.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah.
It's interesting that you mentioned something about the fact that you were sitting at the lounge. I've been there before. I've been there before.
Yeah.
I wasn't inspired in that way, but it's funny how it's funny how you got your inspiration. But then on a slightly negative note, like if it wasn't aviation, what could it have been? Like, was it like, are there any struggles that you got when you were studying aviation where, I'm not insinuating that you wanted to give up, but then what are the bit of struggles that you got that kind of reassured you that it was really, really crucial for you to study aviation? Like, are there any moments where it kind of knocked in and knocked sense, like, this is the reason why I'm studying this?
Um, I it was in the beginning of my tertiary education. So what happened? I didn't just go from high school to aviation. I actually went to Eastern Mediterranean University, the biggest school in Cyprus, and I was studying information systems engineering. This is a double major of computers, software engineering, and electronics and electrical engineering. So I threw myself into the big sharks, and whilst doing it, I didn't have that motivation. You know, when you're doing something you love, you have that motivation to go the extra mile, push more harder, and everything. And it was pretty difficult for me. And my idea was, well, I complete this degree, I can still be in aviation. I can go and do avionics, I can go and do aeronautical things at, aircraft manufacturers and things like that. So I had the idea of wanting to go into aviation, but I was taking the longer route. And I discovered the longer route I was taking, I was not loving it. And it wasn't really paying off because it wasn't really my thing. And because it wasn't really my thing, I wasn't really doing so well at it. And I talked to my parents. Luckily, they understood me as a person. They understood the potential I have, and they understood the dreams I had, and they allowed me to switch. So I switched from information systems engineering and went and did aviation as a major. So that's how I think that was the difficulty. And the other reason is um, for me having to go around, it wasn't specifically because I couldn't just go straight to aviation. I had no information about aviation. I didn't know which schools to go to. I didn't know which programs were there in aviation. The only thing I knew was you can become a pilot. That's all I knew. But I didn't know how to become one. I didn't know what are the requirements, who to go to. So I chose the best way I knew and the research I had and the information I had. So I think that was the most difficult thing for me. Had I had that information, probably I wouldn't have wasted a year of my tertiary education studying something that I wasn't even going to pursue in the end.
Awesome. I like the fact that you're highlighting the fact that you didn't know much about aviation, and this moves right into
Yeah.
what we are. We are Flight Wings
Yeah.
Aviation. Let's
Aviation.
talk
Yeah.
about what inspired you to start Flight Wings Aviation, and a little bit of a bio to tell the audience what Flight Wings Aviation is, if someone is just tuning in. And I could see that
So,
our live stream is actually increasing. And thank you so much for everybody who's just tuned in. You haven't missed much. Today I'm interviewing the director of Flight Wings Aviation. And likewise, feel free to engage in the comment section and ask any questions that you want to ask about Flight Wings Aviation. Director, what
okay.
inspired you to
So,
start Flight Wings Aviation?
what inspired me to start Flight Wings Aviation? 50% was COVID. COVID inspired me to start Flight Wings Aviation.
Okay.
Reason why I say this is because Flight Wings Aviation was a dream and idea of mine that was supposed to materialize and become reality 10 years from now. It wasn't supposed to happen right now. I wasn't expecting to do it now, early in my career. I was expecting to do it maybe later on in my career. Right now, just focus on my career and not do it. But because of COVID gave us so much time on our hands, so much time to do other stuff. So I was like, okay, this long-term plan, let's make it a short-term plan. Let's develop this idea of Flight Wings Aviation. The inspiration for Flight Wings Aviation, I'm one person who loves to give out the information I have, inspire others, help others realize their dreams, and equip them to realize their dreams. So that's basically inspired what Flight Wings Aviation it was as an idea then. Thanks to the opportunities I was given by various mentors and people that saw the potential in me and gave me certain positions to exercise my talent, gain confidence, and gain the abilities that have made me become a better leader, if I may say, learn from my mistakes and everything. So in those opportunities, I learned to give out, I learned to help others, and that led me to the idea of Flight Wings Aviation. So COVID now happening, I couldn't focus mainly on my career. I had to do something else. Then I remembered I had an idea. and that idea was Flight Wings Aviation. So it came from 10 years in the future. It came now back to 2021. In January, we started progressing with the formation of the company itself and the idea about it. So, what is Flight Wings Aviation? Flight Wings Aviation is a company started on three main principles, which are inspire, equip, and empower. Um, let's just start with the name Flight Wings Aviation. Flight is a miracle on its own. Science can try and explain it, but ask any pilot. It is a thin line you are flying on between a stall and flight. And it's a miracle. Because of that, it's an inspiration. So to me, I was like, okay, wait, this is an inspiration. Then the wings, you need to be equipped. In order for you to be a pilot, to gain the wings we have, you have to be equipped. Somebody has to equip you to achieve. You have been inspired. Yes, you want to fly. Men wanted to fly, but they had to equip themselves with certain techniques, technologies, and advancements that help them become pilots and aviators. So they were equipped. Then aviation itself, once you're equipped, once you're inspired, you are empowered to fly, and hence this whole miracle of aviation. So basically, this way Flight Wings Aviation came from, to inspire, equip, and empower young people. So basically, what we want to do is inspire young people who want to be aviators, inspire parents that have children that want to be aviators, to show them that they're young people like myself. Captain Els, we had some time back, Captain Amina, Captain Audrey, who are doing great things at a young age and changing the aviation industry here in Africa, showing them that it is possible, it's not difficult. So us being an inspiration to them, that's the whole existence of Flight Wings Aviation. And we also want to equip these kids. Flight Wings Aviation has certain programs that we're going to talk about later that empower young people to know more about aviation, their careers, training schools, where to go to, so that they don't repeat the same mistakes I did when I started pursuing my dreams, and empower them. There are so many young aviators out there that don't have the opportunity to showcase their skills, contributing the industry. So us and our stakeholders are trying by all means to make sure that we create an ecosystem that's conducive for young aviators that are graduating from universities, training schools, from wherever, to come and contributing to their countries. We can look at Zimbabwe. We have so few young aviators in the industry, and we need them to come and contribute just like we are. So basically, in a summary, that's what Flight Wings Aviation is all about.
Awesome. Inspire, equip, empower.
Empower, yes.
Awesome. Awesome. That's basically the mantra: inspire, equip, and empower. So,
Yeah.
looking at it from a broader perspective as well, you mentioned that this was like basically a plan that was supposed to come in fruition like 10 years after, and then COVID kind of
Yeah.
like brought into like the realization of doing it now. And
Yeah.
looking at the industry of aviation as well, without dwelling much in COVID, because I think these are things that we're going to talk about later on as we reach the depth of the show. Like the aviation industry itself, like as a graduate, do you look at it as an aviation that is less flooded, and is that a good thing, or people should actually look into aviation because probably the future is aviation? What's your thought about that? Like the amount of people who are doing aviation, how the industry looks like, like globally. What do you think? Why it is less of people there, and why should people move into doing aviation more than ever?
Okay, so aviation is an industry that focuses on two things: economics and just uniting people from all over the globe. We transfer people from point A to point B, from culture A to culture B, country A to country B, and mix. And it's a facilitator of the world's economy. So because of that, it's an ever-growing industry. So before COVID-19 happened, we already had a massive shortage of personnel in the aviation industry, mainly pilots, because we have more aircrafts being made. We have more passenger demand for the industry. So we need more personnel each and every time. Right now, it seems like there's no shortage because there are lesser flights, there are lesser connections, and all that. A lot of equipment is still grounded, but bit by bit, I was checking the stats the other day. Flights are increasing each and every day significantly. And that means we are going back to the stage whereby we had a shortage. Right now, we are at equilibrium. It's working out, but very soon we're going to be having a shortage. And in aviation, we strive for safety. So we can't have our personnel overworking. We can't have our personnel stressed. We can't have our personnel working whilst they're tired. So we need more personnel coming into the aviation industry. And right now, to be honest, is the best time if you are thinking of coming into the industry to actually start your training. For example, by 2023, we are projecting a 10% deficit of pilots. That's just like a year from now, you know? So this is the perfect time for you to be starting your training and everything. So in terms of, then we can even go to demographics. We have an aging, we have aging aviators. We have aviators that are, going into their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and everything that need to be replaced. And with COVID, a lot of our senior aviators went under forced retirement. As you know, people were being followed, some were losing their jobs, you know. Because of that, they had to take certain packages, which included them retiring at an earlier stage than they had to. Now they're in retirement. That means when the industry gets back on, there's going to be a shortage, not the shortage that was there before COVID, and the shortage of those that have retired. So right now is the perfect time if you're thinking of being in aviation to start making sure you got your papers, you got your licenses, you're equipped and inspired and ready to make a difference.
Yeah, awesome. I like the fact that the future is looking aviation, basically from all of the things that you've said. And can you also tell us about a little bit of about your team? Like behind every great success or behind every
Indeed.
great progress moving forward. A team is very important. Tell us a little bit of of of, of about your team basically, and why they have these specific roles. Like what's so special about your team, and yeah, let's talk about your team a little bit more about it.
My team I have an amazing team I work with, amazing individuals I work with, different. And the one thing you will realize once, exactly, I knew you're gonna do that. The one thing you will realize when you go onto our website, you want to check out the team, is you're gonna see we are diverse. We are from everywhere. We are global. One thing.
Tell our audience as well.
Yeah.
Where to find us. Where to find us.
Okay.
The website.
Our website is at www.flightwingsaviationglobal.com. www.flightwingsaviationglobal.com. That's our website. You can go on there. There's our information, our programs, anything you want to know about the organization. So the team is diverse. We got Michelle Riaz from Pakistan, currently in Saudi Arabia. We got Isaac Yami right here, the host, of course. He's currently in the TRNC. We got Tenda, we got Felix, they're here in Zimbabwe. We got Miss Riska, she is from Indonesia. And we got so many other players that are also part of our team, not directly in our team, but they are diverse from everywhere. So we are bringing that international feel to the company, and it also brings so many perspectives into the for our young aviators that want to join the industry, because you're going to be talking to Michelle Riaz. She has an experience in Saudi Arabia of how things are done, what's needed. Let's say you want to go study abroad in the States, in Europe, in Asia, or you want to go into the Middle East. So we want to make sure that we can cater for everybody. Like our website says, Flight Wings Aviation Global. We are global. We are not just restricted to a small place. We are a Zimbabwean company, but we have a team from all around the world. And the second thing is 99.9%, the 0.1% being Isaac, all of them are aviators. They're aviation graduates, they're pilots, they're dispatchers, they're ground personnel. And of course, Isaac, man, you're an amazing videographer, you're an amazing presenter, host, and marketer, business guru, if I'm gonna put it that way. I have enjoyed working with you in various other organizations. Let me just shout out to you right now. So yeah,
You're plugging
so
me in.
I've
It's all right.
yeah, soon you're gonna add aviation to your CV as well because
Of
we gotta
course,
make
I
that
can't wait to
happen.
be honest.
So yeah, I have an amazing team from all around the world, and we are making sure that we inspire the next generation of aviators. So that's the reason why I have this team around me. Great personnel, aviators, good at what they do. The one thing that I should say about my team is they just didn't go to school to learn. And we have this habit of young people just going to university just to get a paper, a degree, and just be like, well, you know but the reason these guys went to school and the reason why I chose them to work with me is because they want to make a difference. They want to contribute. They want to take the aviation industry in their various nations from the state it is to the next stage. And those are the type of aviators we want post COVID. Because the aviators, the mindset we had before COVID no longer works after COVID. Things have changed. The normal, we now have a different normal. We now need certain aviators that are able to use the knowledge they have to change the industry and be creative in the way we deliver service to the customers and our stakeholders.
Yeah, awesome. I'm glad to be part of this incredible team, and I can surely confirm that we are a talented bunch, and I am also having a good time. And it's a good opportunity and an honorable honor to be able to serve with people who are also like talented, and also talking about how Flight Wing started. First of all, you're a young individual, and I believe the power of young people is indispensable. With the passion driven and directly harnessed in great ways, great things can be achieved. So, as a young person, like what keeps you going, in terms of like it must be difficult starting something when you're quite young, but then what keeps you going as a person as well? Can you tell us about that?
um, First of all, it's true. It's quite difficult as a young person starting a business, because yes, we are doing all this aviation stuff, but it's a business at the end of the day. You need capital, you need so many things, and what keeps me going? One, my team. My team is amazing. It's always giving more ideas, helping me out when I'm out of ideas, and forming a good structure and good strategy to achieve our goals. And I have a good ecosystem around me as well. My parents are so supportive of what I'm doing. They support me in everything, and I'm grateful for that. Family, friends, and everybody. So people realizing what you're doing and realizing that you're doing something great, and supporting you keeps you going. And the idea of knowing that you're going to achieve something by the inspiration and equipping young people that you're going to do something that's going to change lives for decades to come is something that keeps me going, as well as, like I said in the beginning, it's a passion of mine to share what I have, help others achieve their dreams. So the idea of I'm doing something positive that's going to contribute to the industry in Zimbabwe is great, as well as making an impact on the world stage as well. So that also keeps me going. It's difficult, to be honest. I'm from Zimbabwe. I started this company, registered it in Zimbabwe. We know the economy is not so great, but with a team and a support system, nothing is impossible. As long as you have an idea and you're willing to sacrifice your utmost to make sure that it happens and you deliver no substandard, just quality, trust me, you can do anything and it will keep you going. Just knowing that you have a target to achieve. And yeah, I think, I don't know, but yeah, that's that what keeps me going. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the fact that you say it's support structure, and obviously as well as an individual who's been given an opportunity to lead projects. I also understand that with
Yeah.
having a very supportive support structure is incredible, and it's something to be valued, and it's a focal point that allows you to grow as an organization. So yeah, basically what we've covered in the first this is the first half of the show is basically who you are and basically why you start and everything. So let's talk about Flight Wings Aviation in a little bit of depth. Like, what kind of services do we offer as well? Like, and then what services do we have? Like, let's go through that. Like, what do we offer? We spoke about courses. We're also talking about courses. Let's go through all of those things so that the people are quite aware of the things that we, why we're here and why as an organization we do what we do.
Okay, so Flywings Aviation revolves around the three principles we talked earlier about: inspire, equip, and empower. So, in the inspiration part, we have the Big Sky, the program we have every week to inspire young people. We have aviators that come on here, the likes of Captain Els we had some time ago, Amina, Captain Audrey. We're going to be having so many other people that are going to be coming on the show to inspire young people, to show them this is how I made it. We have, like Audrey's story, we were all amazed with what she did. Captain Els, we were all amazed by what young people are doing at a very young age. And as much as they were inspired, they're also inspiring the next generation of aviators, and also showing to parents that are doubting that it is possible for their children to achieve their dreams at an international level as well. So we do that. We also have seminars that we hold. We're going to be doing expos. Right now, we are putting that on hold because of COVID-19. We can't really do that, but those are some of the things we're going to be doing in the future. We interact with schools. We do career guidance as well at schools. And we also do career guidance where you can come to Flight Wings Aviation, contact us on our WhatsApp number or on Facebook, Instagram, on LinkedIn, or via our email as well. And we can link up and we'll talk to you. We'll hear what you want to achieve at a personalized level and help you achieve your dreams and inspire you to show you that it is possible for you to achieve anything you want to achieve in life. So we have that inspirational part of things. Then we go on to the equipping part. That's the more significant part of the business, where we have programs as Flight Wings Aviation introductory programs, the JSC program, which is the Junior Aviation Certificate Program. So this program is for anyone aspiring to be an aviator. When people come to us, for example, I'm going to talk about the consultations later on, for a consultation, and they're like, I want to be a pilot. But most of the time, what I've realized with the kids I talk to, or the individuals I talk to that come to me and say, I want to be a pilot, I want to be a cabin crew, I want to work this job in the airport, sometimes they don't even know what the job title is. They don't know what are the job specifications of what they're going to be doing. Sometimes they just love the uniform and they just want to wear it someday, but they don't know the responsibility that comes with the wings and the bars that are on your shoulders. And the program educates them on understanding what aviation is all about. So it basically touches on all the basic fundamentals you need to know about aviation. So in the program, there's a course for introduction to aviation, introduction to aircrafts, introduction to airports, aviation terminology, security, and safety. So these are the courses that will be the introductory courses that are in the JSC program. So if you register for that program, you will get out of it with so much knowledge that will help you, one, choose the right program you want to do. Because aviation is a huge program. One thing you realize is whatever you're studying, you can be in aviation. You can be a doctor and be in aviation. We have aviation medicine. We have accountants. We have operational managers. We have engineers. We have contractors. We have construction workers. We have civil engineering. So whatever IT, whatever discipline you might think of, it fits somewhere in the aviation industry. And the JSC kind of gives you an overview picture of the industry so that you can choose a correct direction for yourself to take to achieve your dreams. Then we are also going to be offering new programs that will be coming up. So our viewers, please do stay tuned in to our Instagram, our Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever, and make sure that you are looking at our posts, because we're going to be posting new exciting programs that will be coming on. And as of next month, again, we also let me just announce it right here. We're going to be starting pilot tutorials for the first time, and it's going to be amazing. We have a great team that's going to be working on that and helping those that want to become pilots and helping them achieve it at the shortest time. For example, pilotage is a very expensive program to study. and you need to be doing your things perfectly and make sure that you don't spend so much money on the ground, and also don't spend so much money on unnecessary hours to perfect certain skills that you could have perfected before. So we're going to be helping you on everything you need to know, helping you out with notes, books, questions, and making sure that you are ready for your pilot exams and ready to take on your wings and fly. And who knows, in a year, instead of doing it in 2 years, 3 years, you might be doing it in 1 year and be done with your commercial pilot's license and be, going for your ATPO and flying for Air Zimbabwe very soon, or for any airline in the world. So we're gonna be doing that starting next month. So I'm quite excited about that one as well. So we also have other courses like human factors, metrology, dangerous goods, um, customer service that will be coming up very soon. We're working on that as well. Then for those that also want to switch, these programs are good for them. For example, you can be an engineer or you can be a business personnel and you're thinking, well, I want to switch to aviation. So you can use these courses to get information on aviation, so that when you come with your business degree and you're working at the airport, you're quite equipped and know the terminologies used and how the aviation industry works. Because there's a difference between being a business manager in the secular business world and being an airport manager. They're two different things. Yes, you have the management skills, but aviation is a special kind of industry. So you need to have that education as well. So we are also helping people that want to switch from certain industry into the aviation industry. And we also have continual education courses like risk management, teamwork, strategic management that are going to be coming up. Right now, we have risk management that's already online on our e-learning system. You can register for that one, and you can do it starting on the 13th of next month. Right now, we're just finishing this class that's finishing on the 10th of July. And on the 13th, a new class will be starting. So make sure you register before the 10th so that you can start the new class on the 13th. So that's about equipping. Then empowering. We help students, for example, want to do their internships. We have stakeholders that are in the industry that we can link you up with so that you can do your internship at a recognized facility and training school. And so we do those. We also help you with your career guidance as well, which which airlines to apply to, which airlines are looking for personnel, which airports are looking for personnel, and all those. So we're going to be helping. We also help with that. So that's basically a broader view of the services FlightWings Aviation provides.
Awesome. I like the fact that there's so much going on, and I'm very honored. Like I said, I'm very honored and I'm very excited, quite excited to be part of all of these things. And one more question, maybe one more question in line with what we've been talking about. Like, who can access these courses, and who's the target market for these courses? Is like, if you're watching, like, what are we thinking in mind when we're talking about these courses and in that kind of line, you know?
Okay, so most of our courses are for aspiring aviators, right? They are for people who want to join the aviation industry, want to study study aviation, go for aviation training. Though that's our main target market. But we're not limited to those. We have also those that are in the industry. There are people that are working in the industry that want to develop certain skills. So we also target those people. They can come and do some of the courses just to refresh their skills as well, because you can be doing a job for 10 years, you have the experience, but certain fundamentals and basics they slip through, so you might need to refresh once in a while. And we are helping, we also facilitate for that kind of training. We have courses, like I said, things like human factors, dangerous goods, customer service, even the JSC program itself, and other programs that we're going to be offering. So you can anyone basically, that's, maybe let's put it on a broader extent, from aspiring to actual current aviators and people that want to join and switch industries. So that's our target market.
Awesome. I'm hearing everybody is invited as long as you're passionate about the field of
Exactly.
aviation. And then I also want you to also allude on how many careers are we looking into when we talk about aviation, because people just thinking it's about being a pilot. Like, let's share a little bit of options you have as an aviator. What are we looking at? Let's say, audience, and then you do not know what's in it. Like, let's talk about the careers available in the aviation umbrella.
Okay, so in aviation, there are so many career options, but to help our viewers and not confuse them with so many technicalities, let me just divide them into segments. So aviation is divided into two parts, the air side and the land side. So at the land side, we have things like aviation security, those guys that tell you to remove your shoes, your jackets, they check things and stuff like that. So we have AFSEC, aviation security, we have aeronautical information services, we have the administration. Now, in administration, we're talking of all the business disciplines that you may think of: accounting, marketing, business admin, operation, logistics, transport, all those in the business side of things. We also have customer service. I'm sure those that have traveled, they know the guys that come, that check in, that do the check in, take their luggage and everything like that. So passenger handling and all that. Then we move to the air side of things. The air side of things, we're now talking of the boarding personnel. We're still talking of passenger handling and customer service as well. Then we go to ground handling. The people you see on the ground just doing their job all the time, and you're wondering what are they doing. We're talking of the people that load the pallets, the boxes you see being put in the aircrafts, your bags, and making sure the plane, leaves on time. The operations guys, dispatchers, we can talk of cabin crew. These are the more popular ones, the cabin crews, the people that serve you drinks and food in aircrafts, and their main job always to keep you safe through the flight, and the pilots as well. Then behind the scenes now, we have the air traffic controllers, the men and women that keep our skies safe, the men and women that will be in the tower controlling the runways, the taxiways, the apron where the aircrafts park, and those that are behind the scenes, the ones that do area control. These are air traffic controllers that control the broader airspace above. When you see the flyer, when they're telling you we are flying at 30,000 feet or 40,000 feet or 38,000 feet, they are air traffic controllers that control that airspace up there in the skies and making sure that aircrafts don't hit each other and all that. So those some of the behind the scenes careers. Then we go to regulatory now. This is no longer the operational side. There are people that create laws and then they make sure that everybody is abiding to those standard operating requirements. So we call them SOPs. So we have the standards. That's where you can, for those that are in Zimbabwe, they know of CARS, which is the Civil Aviation Authority of Zimbabwe, or they know of the UK Civil Aviation Authority, or FAA, the Federal Aviation Authority in the United States, or the South African Aviation Authority. The people that work in those departments, we are talking of the civil engineers that deal with all the structures of the airport industry. We're talking of the technology guys that make sure that all our beacons are working, everything is up to scratch, the licensing, the communications, the airworthiness guys that make sure that our aircrafts are airworthy. If you know of the incident with the 737 MAX, which had the two catastrophic incidents with the Air Asia and Ethiopian Airlines, those guys are the guys that will be like, no, this aircraft is not fit to fly, so it's not going to fly in our airspace, or we are not going to allow it to carry any passengers. So there's that other department. So it's a broad department. Then we have aviation medicine. Most advanced airports have hospitals because anything can happen. When you're in transit, you can fall sick, or a flight can be flying from South Africa to Dubai. Then whilst over the Zimbabwean airspace, someone gets sick, that airplane cannot go back to South Africa. They have to land immediately. Then they landed, let's say, Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport or at Victoria Falls International Airport. The airport has standby medical personnel. So you can be a doctor and not working at a secular hospital and be working at an airport hospital. We have hospital hotels. Those that have traveled abroad, they know of Dubai Airport Hotel. We have people that work in airport restaurants. We have chefs in restaurants. So it's a broad spectrum. Everything you can probably think of. Bioengineering, we need our fuel. Right now we are going eco-friendly fuel, so we need our bioengineers creating the perfect fuel for our aircraft. So it's a broad spectrum, but you have to have this knowledge where us as Flight Wings Aviation are coming in and saying, this is what you want to do, this is the way you can achieve your dreams, and this is what you need to do in order to reach your goals.
Awesome, awesome. And as we are drawing closer to the end of the show, let's talk about the progress that has been done so far. Like, what have we done so far as Flight Wings Aviation, as we started, and the progress, obviously.
Okay, so progress. Like I said, we started in January developing the program and registering the company in Zimbabwe. So Flight Wings Aviation is a registered company in Zimbabwe. We're not just doing fun stuff. We actually are a registered company in Zimbabwe, and the progress we've done, we have developed programs that are already online. So we have a website, we have an e-learning system, a good e-learning system standard that you can enroll in and actually do your courses online, self-learning. Right now with COVID restrictions, a few physical classes can be done. And for example, like we said, we are global. So you can be in Dubai and you want to do our courses. You can't, travel to Zimbabwe. You can do them in Dubai online. So that's what those are some of the advancements we have done. Some of the progress also, we are partnering with schools. Right now, we have exciting news that will be coming in very soon. If you're a young person at some school, you might just be lucky that we are going to be partnering with your school, providing the JSC program to your school. And if not, tell your headmaster to contact us or contact us in our DMs on Instagram, Facebook, or an email, and tell us to contact your school, and we will come and deliver the course to you guys so that you guys are equipped, empowered, and ready to take on the aviation industry. So those are some of the progresses we have made. We are continuing to work hard to make sure that we involve so many stakeholders and partners in the aviation industry to make sure that young people that are graduating from various disciplines in the aviation industry have some way to start and do and start working, for example, in airlines, airports, anywhere in the industry, so that you have a stepping stone. So we are working on that as well. So in the near future, we're going to be announcing those things, and we're also going to be working with our partners as well to make sure that right now scholarships are hard to come by, but they're starting to be unveiled. This week alone, we had about 10 scholarships that are on offer that people can apply for. So we are also going to be working on that, making sure that there are so many scholarships that our young people can apply for, because aviation can be expensive to study. So you need that assistance as well.
Awesome. And also moving to the future of the future of Flight Wings Aviation. There's a question here by Tanaka. It says that, where do you see the organization in the next 5 years? And this is like literally jumping into my next question, where tell us about the future plans for Flight Wings Aviation.
Um, our vision, that just goes into our vision. Our vision is to become the leading all-round aviation training organization in Southern Africa. So in the next 5 years, we are working so hard to make sure that we are at least there or almost there in making sure that we are the leading all-round aviation training institution in Southern Africa. Because right now you have piloting schools, you have ground schools, you really have aviation management schools in Southern Africa. We want to bring all that under one roof and make sure that it's affordable. You can do it from anywhere and be able to be inspired, equipped to work in the aviation industry. So in the next 5 years, Flight Wings Aviation is going to be doing everything under one roof. So that's where the vision is at, and we hopefully, through God blessing us and giving us the wisdom and the courage to take the right decisions, we're going to make it, and we're going to be at that stage in the next 5 years.
Awesome. And one of the questions that I have, but then we've already addressed them, talking about how the pandemic has affected most of our plans as Flight Wings Aviation. And I remember you spoke about how the certain movements that we're supposed to do, the certain places that we needed to visit, the certain workshops that we're supposed to do. And obviously, because of because of the pandemic, we were not able to move around and do so many things in that regard. So obviously, when the pandemic is quite like lifted ish, and then if it's safe to move around, definitely we're going to be visiting more schools, and definitely we're going to do more personal consultations, if I believe so, as well. So my last question would be then, um, what advice would you give a young person who wants to become an aviator? Not necessarily this time, but even whenever, like as a person, you told us your story, how you specifically say that if you had the right knowledge that you have now, you would have just gone straight ahead, but then you went round and round and round and all of these things. So what kind of advice can you give a young person who wants to become an aviator?
Well, first of all, contact Flight Wings Aviation Global if you want to be an aviator. That's the best advice I can give you right now. Because once you come to us, we're going to make sure we mentor you, we give you all the tools that you need to achieve your dreams. So that's the first advice I'll give you. The second is research, research, and research. We're not living in a digital world. That things from 6 years ago when I started my academic aviation academic career, I didn't have because of less information, but because of now we have technology research. And of course, you're going to find things that are difficult for you to understand. That's why Flight Wings Aviation is there as well. Another thing is go for your dreams. As long as you're passionate about something, do what you love. If you notice, we have a lot of, like I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of young people that have qualifications, degrees, master's degrees, PhDs, that they cannot utilize, that they cannot implement because they did something they do not love. There is no reason for you to, go study mechanical engineering if you want to be a cabin crew. You know, there's no reason for you to be doing something else, then switch. Do what you love. And if you're doing what you love, trust me, you enjoy it. No matter the stress, no matter the difficulties, you will enjoy it because you're passionate about it and you have the courage and the enthusiasm to keep going when things get hard. So that's the advice I'll give them. And the other thing is talk to your parents. Have your parents involved in what you want to do. Because sometimes you may not have the knowledge, but your parents have experiences. They know certain individuals that can mentor you. Talk to them, give them your idea. Don't surprise your parents by just saying, I want to be a pilot, and your parents haven't saved up money for you to become a pilot. So talk to your parents about what you want to do at a young age. You can be the form three, tell your parents, I want to be a pilot. Give your parents time to save up that money so that you're not disappointed at the end of the day when they're like, no, we can't afford it, or you can't do this because of, money matters. So talk to your parents, have them advise you and have them support you because the only way they're going to support you if they understand what you want to do. So that's the advice I would give to young people. But the greatest advice of all, come to Flight Wings Aviation, contact us. We will give you all the tools you need to achieve your dreams.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ngoni Machaka, the director of Flight Wings Aviation. And this was a very detailed interview, and I believe we've learned a lot. If you're wondering what Flight Wings Aviation is all about, I believe everything has been said. And if you haven't really understood anything, you can go back and rewatch you can rewatch this because it's going to be available on the stream as well. So I want to say thank you for giving us this time, and your busy schedule and all of these things, just to come and basically shed light on what we're trying to do and what we are doing as an organization as well. And my takeaway from today's interview would be, try to look like where there's greatness, you ought to be there. Like, um, just try to be involved. You never know where the line of your career can move around. It's never too late to start
That's true.
anything.
That's
And
true.
if there's a statement that says if a fish would cry that it cannot climb a tree, it would die thinking it's stupid. But then, the thing is,
Yeah.
if you go another direction, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't mean you're not good at something else. So basically open your eyes and understand that the world is like an oyster. It's out there to be explored. So thank you so much for
You're welcome.
for being here today, and my question was answered, especially it was answered very fast, Like the question was
I realized.
the question was the first flight lasted 12 seconds and it flew around a distance of 120 feet. Who was the pilot? And the answer to this is Orville Wright, one of the Wright brothers, and I forever I am always indebted in terms of when it's one of those things that I've watched. I think I was watching this cartoon and they spoke about how the first plane was started. I remember being marveled. I sat down the entire evening. I was like, wow, people can be great like this. So
Yeah,
the aviation
just
promo
to make
code.
it interesting, just to make it more interesting, whoever answers who broke the next record the same day, it gets a promo code as well. Let's just make it interesting that way. Oliver Oval broke the first record, making the first heavier than air flight. If you guess the next person who did it, you get a promo code as well. Curious of myself.
Awesome. So if you get to guess the next person, that's interesting. Yeah, and then I think you can slide this in our DMs as well because I've
Yeah,
already shut down the
we're
screen.
out of time.
But
Yeah.
I want to say thank you to everybody who's watched. Thank you for the viewers who kept with us. I saw seeing on numbers that kept consistent. And please do like, share, subscribe, and tell people out there that Flywings Aviation is here to take all over the world. And you've been watching The Big Sky, where we get to explore the unlimited possibilities of aviation. I was your host, Isaac Yami, and we're interviewing the director of Flightwings Aviation. And from me and the team, it is goodbye for now. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.